I am watching Skeleton Key, and I do have commercials in it. I have been putting stuff on TikTok, which you guys should really see. I should add the description and stuff. So here I am. I've got my little holder here. All right, hello everyone. I want to talk about, sometimes we have situations where it could be relationships or just people that are assholes, you know. I don't know what the plus thing
Audrey,
is on that.
sorry.
Oh, it's dark.
Mr. Talcott's gone. Okay. Front desk. There's any shows.
Now, if you can spot an asshole person before anyone else, you might be an intuitive.
But they don't want to have anything to do with it. You can dump it out back.
Hi, Chris. I put a thing, if you can spot an asshole before anyone else. I'm intuitive, so usually I can go, God, that person just doesn't seem right. So recently, a friend of mine decided to, it wasn't recent, I would say about 4 months ago, he had gotten in a relationship with a woman who was working with his brother. And his brother said, she seems so nice and walks around singing all the time and doing this. And he started dating her, and it went sexual right away. Unfortunately, all my relationships that have been sexual never worked out, worth the crap. So I decided to give up sex. And I have had God send me somebody who would try to change the way I thought. Ooh, we got New Orleans.
Take a look.
We are watching a movie called Skeleton Key, and it is
I have enough for that place.
creepy. We're talking about New Orleans, and I'm drinking my coffee, and I am going to talk to you about what I feel when people get in relationships. They seem so nice. Oh my God, this woman seems so nice. She prayed in front of her food. She stole food from everybody and stole my whole lunch a bunch of times. If it wasn't for people at work giving their food to me, I would have no lunch.
My way.
Yeah, this woman just stealing and stealing and stealing.
Are we dancing here or what?
If you go in a regular place, I'm sure she'd be stealing from you.
This work you're doing. Are you sure it's not changing you? I'm 25 years old. What's wrong with change?
I find that people are jumping in the sack before finding out if that person is mentally inept. It is unacceptable. And I find a lot of people like that. I had something happen in my life where I was starved as a kid. And my dad was gone. And the woman he was married to was very bad. And I had to call my grandmother over in California. And she took a flight. She said, this is back in the 80s. She called up her travel agent and said, I want the first flight out of California. I don't care where it's, how much it costs, where I get off, where I get on. I have to be into Detroit by tonight. And you know what? My grandma was my angel. She was my angel. She was my protector. When my dad wasn't there, my grandma was there. And I'll tell you this. My grandmother was the type of person who did not swear. Except in the car, and when someone tried to starve her granddaughter. That was me. She was never welcome. She said, "You are never welcome to my intersectum," which was California. Yeah, it was. She had pretty well said to my father that what she did was not just unacceptable, that if the CPS would have gotten hold of it, they would have been years and a lot of money. I knew by the age of 12 that I needed to keep this out of the everything, papers, whatever, you know. My dad was an upstanding citizen. His wife was a piece of work. And I did have a lot of fun with the fact that she acted all these, she cracked me up, man. Another biggin who acted like she was a worker. She had gone through what they call it now something nice. It's where they make your stomach smaller. The thing was, she had never been into a healthy relationship or a healthy lifestyle. Ooh, girl walking into the house, is no one answering. It's like, oh boy. If you see a beautiful house filled with antiques and no one has run off with them, it's haunted. So anyway, I have come on to the whole point of relationships. The best way to get in a good relationship is have a friendship first. That means you hang out, you can watch TV together. I have had my relationship I had a long time ago with a good friend. We did karate together, and the only reason why I liked him was because we were kids. This is like, 5, 6 years old, you're a little kid, and Bruce Lee was the biggest thing. His shit was awesome. You would, they had, and they should really bring back the 7-Eleven had these cups. They were the Bruce Lee cups, and he had handed me a cup to use there. Everyone had their own cup, their own Bruce Lee with their name on there. And my friend, we knew each other all the way up to adulthood. He passed away in '93, and it tore me up. He was amazing. And I was planning to leave my ex at the time, and he was going to help me as a friend. There was no sex involved. And it nearly tore me up.
I'm sorry.
It about killed me. I wanted, if it wasn't for my son, I would have probably committed suicide, because it was wanting to leave a sociopath, because sociopaths have a hard time letting go. And that's what we're going to try to avoid, is you finding the crazy ones. And time always has a way of showing that. So, I would say my friend, his girlfriend is the biggest Karen I've ever seen in my life. I mean, I've seen some Karens, but this one really took the cake. And I was so happy that she was so much into her own life that she didn't want to talk to me at all.
She's not going to understand the house.
I'm not going to understand the house.
Some lost girl life, huh?
So, I always try to get people to, talk about themselves. Yes. My grandma was a boss. Oh, yeah. Oh, she was something. She never did get back to California because my dad divorced her. And it wasn't because of what she did to me. It was the fact that
You're the 5th interview since she shoots down.
I will tell you exactly, because I was 12 when that happened. They stayed married 3 more years. And, yeah, it was just before going into high school. I was 15 years old. I was close to 13, so it was 2 more years. And, she was no longer allowed to have anything to do with my food. That means when they had a full dinner, I had to make my
So if you
own.
talked to her, what would you
Yeah, my grandmother made new rules for
I'd say she can look all she
sociopath
wants. I don't doubt
stepmother.
she found any better than you.
She was jealous because
So,
she was,
she'd do well to
let's
treat
just
you
be
like?
honest, at the age of 12, I had guy friends who wanted
Here,
more, and they would come over my house, let's go fishing, let's go do this. And she never had that. She never had any of that. Jealousy is another thing. When you get into a relationship and if that person, let's just pretend, let's say that person's morbidly obese and pretends to be a Jesus person, and you're a Jesus person, you like to go to church and you're family oriented, but they forgot to tell you that she's a voodoo priestess and her idea of working hard is watching other people work, then it might not work together. But you don't know this person, neither did a lot of people, that, you know, they're evil. They're not nice. You want to find a relationship where you're equal or that person has a little more caliber than you, then they are not going to be jealous of you for being skinny, hardworking, having people like what you do. You don't want that. You don't want them constantly jealous of you, because that's what happened in my relationship. My relationship was I was outgoing, I would go and do stuff, I had friends, they all wanted to hang out with me, I was a nice personality, and what people who are in a lesser vibration, who are not up there with you in relationship wise, they're going to be jealous, they're going to do what my ex did, tell them lies about you, fabricate stories that you never heard of. They're going to tell them that you're evil and bad, so they won't hang out with you. They're going to be backstabbing you because they're very jealous of you. And that's what usually happens in a relationship where the other person is doing everything and then you have another person. Those are what you call just crappy relationships. And you don't usually know it. Like I have said before, you never know until you really spend time. And if you go to bed with that person, a lot of times they control you through their private parts. And it's not fun either. Oh boy. She goes, oh, what's this creepy jingy stuff?
Parlez pas français?
See?
17 from the guys.
I don't know how many friends I've heard them say the relationship after 3 or 4 months just went to shit. Save yourself time. Make yourself unacceptable or unapproachable if they are being assholes. You know, if they are not, how can I say, it's an argument of you saying no, then you need to make it where they can't text you. You need to make it where they can't contact you on any of the social media. Make it where they can't contact you. You don't need to deal with negative people. So we're watching Skeleton Key, a woman who is needing a job, and she's like, woo, it's too good to be true. It's not haunted. And if you need to bring Ghostbusters in, oh, she's in a room that there's a picture turned around. Turn the picture around, bitch. Turn it around before it's too late.
Hi, Ben. Me, I'm Caroline. I'll be taking care of you for a while. Well, there's not a lot of light in here for you, is there? So you're a fan of the blues, huh? So is You've
She was
just
grabbing onto her arm. Oh, oh no!
Ouch! There you are. Time for his remedies. Scoot over, child. 9 in the morning, 7 at night. He takes his pills in powder form.
Four votes. I am really good at catching the asshole in old parts. I remember when my dad was dating Jane, and she called us gremlins, and I said, "You want to see gremlins?" She called us something else. It was before gremlins even came out.
Marked up.
She called us like nasty names, and it was a mean and endearing. And my grandmother said, "Why are you so negative?" She had, like I say, if you're going to date somebody, date someone with a higher caliber than yourself, as in, you want someone who's just outgoing as you, is just a hard worker as you. If you're not an outgoing person, you want to date someone who's like you. Into some manner of speaking, you want someone who's comparable to yourself, who is not going to be jealous of you for your endeavors, who will push you to your endeavors and help you. That is a good relationship. So if you get into a relationship that is bad, and it's already gone sexually quickly, and this person, people, and I'm telling you this, evil people know their time is not on their side. And I'm telling this to a lot of people, you know. Showing pictures. I have told I don't know how many people, keep your relationships positive by no sex for 3 months and spend a lot of time together. Oh.
They made a skeleton. This will open every door.
Well, apparently everybody can spot an asshole before anyone else. That's really good. Hi, 6 trade up. Yeah. I'm telling you this. The reason why I tell people 3 months is simple as this. Whoa, shit. I miss my computer. All right. The reason why I tell people the 3-month thing is simple as this is because usually it takes about 3 months for the romance to end. So if you want a real romantic relationship or real relationship, they're walking the hallways and she's going. So if you're in that kind of relationship and you want something equal, get someone equal compared to yourself, where you, number one, don't have to worry about getting them a job. If they're, I to people, if you want to get somebody, get them comparable to yourself. If they're already a hard worker, they're not. If you're intuitive enough, you can figure it out. And a lot of times I would just shake someone's hand and leave them at the dating spot. I have told many of the guys it wasn't going to work out. I need to have someone comparable to myself. I tried to help my ex work and to be a hard worker, and look where that ended up. He was a sociopath who wouldn't let go of me. I love the fact when people say it didn't work out, and I tell them this. Yeah, 3 months, no sex. If they could go on talking with you and dealing with your stuff without worrying about having sex or not, you know you got a good person. If you have someone who you want them to lose weight and you're dating them and there's no sex yet, and you go, look, you know, I think you're a great friend, but your weight is bothering me. You can't fit into any cars except a truck in the back. And I think you're a great person, but you know what? When you lose weight and you feel better about yourself, I will be there for you, but it will not be sexually at all. I've told guys that. I said, I need you to feel good about your body and yourself. And I want you to realize that, but I can't do it. That person has to realize that, not me. I knew where I was. It took me 12 years to get where I am. And it was sweat, tears. If you like to sweat, then you like to lose weight. If you don't like to sweat, if you're working a job where this is the first job you've ever sweat at, then you are in the wrong type of job, wrong type of relationship. You need, people need to realize, think up a higher caliber, a vibration of a person that you're wanting to date, so that person will push you and you will push that person. It's a, I guess you would say, it's not just a marriage or a relationship. You're dealing with something where you two have to make a life. That means you have a house or whatever kind of life you want, where it's going to be optimum, where you're both working and making money. And if you're working and making money and feeling good about yourself, the other person shouldn't be backstabbing you in the back because they're so jealous. That's not a good relationship. A good relationship is two people pushing each other up, especially when they're not feeling good. No one has a perfect day every week. Sometimes we just lose ourselves at home and we have a hard time. We really do. I do. I know. I get pissed if someone steals food from me, especially if they leave me with zero, nothing to eat, and they're eating everything I have. Ooh, she found a door. Ooh. So if you're dealing with someone who's backstabbing you, you're not in a good relationship. And that's what happened to me. My ex would say all kinds of bad things about me to people to make himself look better all the time. And when you have that and they're trying to make themselves look better, it's not a relationship anymore. And I knew that. And I can admit, I had somebody at work, oh, not at work, but at, when I was working the weed place, I had somebody say, you know, it is your fault. You let that go on, and I did. And I realized I would need to get a divorce. I would have to stand up for myself, and it would be very hard because I was dealing with someone who wasn't like me, who knew that if they lose me, no woman would go, well, you know, he's with a gorgeous woman, he's obviously providing something. No, my ex never provided me with a comfort. After my operation, he let me go for 2 weeks without a shower. And I kept asking him, did you call the doctor yet? Have you talked to them? And I was just too tired to do it, but he was too tired to take care of me.
You'll have to ask him.
That's when I decided I wanted a divorce. It wasn't just the fact that he was screwing the next door neighbor. It was the fact that he couldn't even have someone to take care of me in a position that he should have. And that's what it came down to. I could take care of him better than anything. But when it came to him taking care of me, there was no way he would do that. And that's where it went. It really did. And that's why I needed somebody who would think of our relationship not as him being better, but as us working as an equal. When you work with someone as an equal, you will find out that it's easier to do that than anything else, because the person who sees you as equal, they're not going to backstab you. They're going to want to push you up and make you better than what you already are. So if you're not realizing that and you're still wondering why your relationships are crapping out, think back. If it's not working out now and it's not the same, let's put it this way, if your recipe's turning out shitty, you're going to want to change up your recipe where it works out. So far, I have been with, the last person I was with was almost 2 months ago. And James just, I don't work with him. He's somebody's brother. And he promised me a relationship and it's never happened. So that's where I'm at. I'm intuitive enough to know when I'm working with someone they're not right. Finding out that they are what was it she said, practitioner, a voodoo practitioner. If you're a voodoo practitioner pretending to be into God, you cannot have voodoo and Christian faith together. They do call it something else, but I'm not into voodooism. I don't know what it entitles, but I do know that I do have respect for it. I've had to fight it, and I have to hire a voodoo practitioner. I hire male ones. Female ones send more voodoo people this way. Male ones will warn people. So I no longer work with a female voodoo practitioner. I work with a male voodoo practitioner. Oh God, this guy's trying to, oh God, he fell off the roof. Oh shit. Oh man. Well, I'm watching Skeleton Keys and it's quite something else. I gotta go pay my cell phone bill. Oh God. So yeah, I've been dealing with a lot of people who want to be friends with me, and some people don't get the idea that here's the whole point. If you're too big to fit in the back seat of my Jeep, you're too big to get in my car. And maybe you need to realize that walking everywhere you need to go is a good deal because you need to lose some weight. I don't give everybody rides and I'm not nice. I treat people the way they treat me. If they steal from me and do stuff, then
I came as fast as I could. We're just gonna have to double this road. That's all I can think. Caroline, help me here, please. Help me get it.
what's he saying? What's he saying? Oh, he's just looking. Oh man.
Introducing the one and only relationship guru.
Relationship guru. It's a dog.
Rejected. We reject 98% of the psychics who apply. Talk with a real deal at California Psychics.
So if you're dealing with a person, I'm saying either man or woman, and they are really super nice, we're talking, I will do anything. Oh yeah, sure, we'll go to this restaurant, we'll do here, we'll take you there. I had men that were so sweet, and then once you give it up, it's done. Their whole chase is to get you in bed. Before you give it up, you need to realize it could be for either man or women. They hate the words no. I remember I was dating a guy and I told him, look, you know, I know you're not into relationships. I know that you're an open one. I want a real relationship with a real man who really cares
So what
about me.
exactly happened? I came to update on Will. She's up at the dock, says, he fell?
He got angry and he said, well, he called me a bunch of times. He doesn't like to hear the word no, and I did that. I gave him the word no and told him that I wanted a real relationship, and then he blocked me.
Wow, he can't even walk.
I just want something real, and he wasn't going to get it, and because he didn't, he threw a fit, and I said, fine. There's nothing I could do in that case, in this scenario. There's nothing I can make anything any better.
I found this in Ben's room last night.
What, his laundry?
No, it had a.
Had
There was.
a what?
It had.
So here I am thinking and watching the movie thinking, God dang, I had a little piece of
I admire
information.
you. You know,
This is a creepy old house.
I
Well,
love
let me
when
go
people
and
take care of my own.
get my air conditioning. It's getting kind of warm, and I'm like, oh, crud.
Out all night, always on the way.
I have,
My life away. So we didn't talk, didn't visit, start.
I had friends for a long time.
Me.
14% said no.
40.
Wow.
96.
7 votes. Time. Give it 3 months and no sex in a relationship, guaranteed to give you a real idea.
That's so wrong.
And say the word no. If you cannot make it somewhere and you would have to not spend time with your family, your mom or dad or brother or sister, and it's an important thing to spend time with them, to do this, if it's to take them to a doctor's visit or just to spend a half an hour with them, and they are going, hey, you spend time with me or else I'll break up with you. Break up with them. Your family is way more important than you know, the sociopath, because that's what they do. They make you pick. And if they make you pick between your family and your friends, then pick your family and friends all the time. Don't hesitate, because that's the one way you can pick out who is going to be there, because they will expect you to give up those family and friends the way my sociopath ex did. They expect you to give up as much as you can, and they will see how much you will give up. And if you won't give up anything, I can guarantee you this: they will not stay if you are steadfast. If they are jealous of you and start talking behind your back, they're never going to stop. Trust me, it makes you look bad being with someone who's not equal vibration or mentality. It just doesn't work out. I don't care how much, you know that person. It really doesn't. And I'm going to be honest. Talk to, and if you know where they have, say they worked at, let's say they worked at a place that you know people who work there, talk to them. Say, how are they really? Oh, I have found a friend recently, she contacted me and said, you know how you told me to go to his last work? You know, the one that he said he left? I go, yeah. He was fired for what? Stealing. I go, I think that you should have him only as a friend. Don't invite him over. She said she was missing a coin. And I said, do you got a hawk shop? Do you have a pawn shop? She goes, yeah. Go there. I guarantee he went there. And she found out that he stole from her. And it was a coin. And it was something worth something to her. And she bought the coin back and told him never to darken her place again and to forget. And he goes, no problem. That's what I'm talking about. She said, if I would have had sex with him, I would have been more where you felt you put yourself more into it. So yeah, I'm having some friends actually taking my advice. She said it was a month and a half and he started showing who he really was, because he figured he wasn't going to get laid. He was going to just steal from her as soon as possible. And that's where some relationships, they're both the same age. He was actually a couple years older than herself and lied that he had money. He really didn't. He was in between jobs, and wow, well, that's a big dolly. Ooh, dealing with voodoo. So when you're dealing with somebody, I always tell people, keep sex on the back end of everything and find out who you're dealing with. Do background checks. It's absolutely, you don't even have to. If a person is real bad, you do a background check. You find out real quick who a person is. If they have done stabbings or whatever, you don't even have to pay an expensive. You just Google their name. Google their name, Google mine, find out what I've done. You know, I tell people, hey, can I Google your name right now? Do you got anything to hide? That's what I've done in some dates. I haven't dated in a while, but I highly doubt that,
Are you interested?
you know, I haven't been dating because I just figured out
Caroline?
I'm to that point where every person that I've dealt with has been evil, has been just, I'm just waiting. I would like to, you know,
Are you in the house?
have someone who's a friend, who knows me, who doesn't want to sit there and spread rumors about me, who's proud. Hey, this is my girlfriend. I want someone who likes to, you know, take me out places every so often and be proud of who they're with. That's it. You know, work with me. And have me as, how can I say, equal. Having someone as an equal is very important. And that's where you have to be. If you're an equal person, you're getting an equal. Anytime you get someone who is an equal of you, they are, meaning that they're not, you get someone who, their excuse is that they use their, okay, here's something I want you to realize. This is, anybody who uses childhood trauma for the reason why they are where they're at now is someone you stay away with. You don't deal with people who mention their childhood trauma to the point where it's excessive. I had this childhood trauma, that's why I am this way. I had this childhood trauma, I'm this way. That means they have not forgiven the people they are with and they haven't moved on. And they are not in the same place you are at. Anyone who uses childhood trauma as a crutch, I don't deal with. I have had 5, not relationships, where I said, look, you need to seek help and you need to forgive those people. I forgave them, and then they mention all the crap that these people, I know. Well, you need to forgive them again because you are pissed off at them. So I'm trying to figure out. I do believe Siberia. I have family in I have family probably in Siberia too. That's cool. I have family all over the world, but we're also in Putin's territory. Russian. I got Russian in me. That's what makes me such a hard worker. I'm just a hard worker. I like to pay my bills and I like to have fun. So if I want to do the things I want to, I got to work my buns off.
I'm also half Italian. Come on, unleash your hidden Italiano.
I don't get jealous of people until they start stealing from me. I don't get jealous. I just want them to have karma visit them. And if you steal from me, I will not be talking to you. That's a guarantee. You don't want me to talk to you? Yeah. So, I always tell people this. If you have someone who uses childhood trauma and they are past the age, if they are past the age of innocence, that means they're 21 and older, I would say this. You're 21 and you need to seek therapy because you need to move on and you need to forgive those people. Because the childhood trauma shit is a big warning. Stay out of their way and do not include them. Because I had stuff that happened in my childhood and I didn't call it trauma, and I already forgave Jane for being evil Contarina. I did. Jane couldn't help it. She was so jealous of me that,
Remember when I was applying for credit
yeah.
cards and it was impossible to tell?
Let's just put it this way, like I told the judge, Judge, I forgive Jane for doing all the things she's done. You know why? Because she wasn't born with brains and she wasn't born with beauty. She was born with a lot of faults, and she had done a lot of bad things to her body and was very jealous because I didn't have to work at guys coming over my house to hang out with me. I didn't have to. I really didn't. They came to my house, and Jane was very jealous because she never had that. Because she was not a nice person. She was a user. So by the time she was 18, no one, when you're in a small town like she was, no one wanted to date her because she was a screw-up. She blamed, and she did this with my dad, blamed her childhood traumas on her mom and expected her mom to save her from everything and was lazy. Yeah, that's where you get your daughter and you treat her like Cinderella. That was my nickname in high school, was Cinderella, because she stole from me and did all the things. I do not like people who steal. They're dishonest. The only reason why she didn't end up in jail is because my dad, who was a lawyer, got her off the hook so many times. Yeah.
So this place your aunt shops at.
So if you're dating somebody who goes and talks about childhood traumas, and my theory is if you're over the age of 19, all right, let's put it this way, if you're over the age of 18, those childhood traumas should have been forgiven and they have gotten therapy for them. If he is dealing with those childhood traumas all the time and talking about them like they're fresh and new, then they really are not people you should date with. People who are not dealing with their childhood traumas but blaming, well, I act like an asshole because of my childhood trauma. I eat like I never, like 10 people because of my child. I got to eat more and steal from people and steal their food. Those are people you run away from. Anyone who deals with childhood traumas are the people you want to steer clear, because they will always be a low vibration, will stab you in the back. I have yet had anyone say that if they're not seeking help, and it doesn't have to be therapy with an actual therapist, it could be therapy with family, because I know people that have a lot of shit going on in their life, and you wouldn't know it unless you were in their private life, and you go, wow, you still go to work and smile and get your work done, and you've had way more trauma than Miss Childhood Trauma. I had childhood trauma. I gotta eat and eat. I had childhood trauma. I had childhood trauma. Childhood trauma goes up till you're 18. After that, if you're still going with childhood trauma, seek some kind of help. If you are using drugs and saying, I have childhood trauma, it gets old. After the age of 18, that childhood trauma shit goes out the door with me. You gotta be 15 talking about childhood trauma that happened last week. Deal with it with friends and family or a licensed professional. Don't sit there and expect your childhood trauma. You gotta forgive people. Forgive that person. You know, Jane didn't know. Jane didn't know. She had childhood traumas too. And she blamed a lot of people instead of forgiving. What happened was Jane ate herself to death. They had to reverse her operation that made her stomach smaller. And when they reversed the operation, she ate herself to death. You know what happens when someone eats themselves to death? Oh, wow.
It's not like no child, you don't know what you see. You're gonna tell me right now, or I'm leaving.
Exactly. And you're right. Childhood trauma can happen with when, and it's been proven, when someone starts remembering. That means that most cases, the age of 3, I didn't start remembering full days until I was 5 or 6. But I can remember snippets of me walking under the table and parents arguing. Even though you don't know what the argument was, it could be trauma effect. If they are blaming, and I say this, once you turn 18, when you talk to me and you're telling me about a childhood trauma, I'm like, okay, and what have you done for it? I got nothing. I'm eating myself to death. I'm not going to hang out with someone with a low vibration. I hang out with people like myself. I put people in my life that I would hang out with and feel good about. They make me laugh and they're funny and they listen to me and I listen to them. That is good. I've had trauma and I've had to take care of it, and I don't blame all the problems. When I was fat, I didn't say that my dad made me eat. I was eating trying to kill myself. I really didn't care to live. I'm being honest. It wasn't until my children said, "We want you here, Mom." And that's when I really realized I did have people who loved me. It may not have been my ex, but it was my son and my daughter. My daughter said that she had watched me quit breathing for over a minute. She had to wake me. You knew who was sitting next to me when I quit breathing? Yeah. Hi, Burger Boy. Love is key, but sometimes love cannot fix somebody who blames childhood trauma on people.
There was a party.
I wanted to eat myself to death. I couldn't get rid of my sociopath husband, and I didn't give a fuck anymore. It was my kids who came up to me and said they loved me, because I figured he wanted me. He'd drive that bicycle till the wheels fell off because he didn't give a flying fuck about me. That was the end thing. I had to love myself, fat and all. And I went and bought a full-scale mirror, put it in the back of my door in the house, and I took my clothes off and said, what's the best part of me? You know what I thought of? I love my ears. So I said, I love my ears and feet. My feet really don't change, that much. They did get fatter, but I love my ears, and I said, these are the things I love, and I went from there. I had a better breasts. Oh, they were huge. My breasts were a D+. They were huge. I do miss my breasts, but you know what? I don't miss not breathing at night. I had, yeah.
The children said it was their fault that they had wanted to learn. But they weren't having any of that.
Well, I'm glad somebody loves somebody. Apparently there's love in the air. Anytime you have people who you have sex right away, I almost think, I don't know, how long has it been? And we're not talking, we're talking when you talk. If you've had sex already and everything, it's all different, yeah.
It's a terrible thing. Well, rumors got out. No arrest, no trial. Money had its way.
There.
What happened to the
I love when people pretend to be something they're not on here. And I really am tired of people coming on here and bringing their dates. And trying to say to me, hey, catch me if you can.
Divides the seals revenge. The children stayed here till 62. But they never, ever told us why that room was locked. Why there were no moors in the whole house.
I'm tired of people pretending to come on here to be people they're not. So now on, I am going to put them on timeout for 24 hours.
Servants.
I am just tired of all the fake people.
They say putting brick dust down.
I really am.
So I made a big circle of them.
So Burger Boy, apparently, I know who it is. And he got another girlfriend who he's having sex with. Who he's going to end up find out that she's fucking everybody. So Burger Boy, I got a message for you. Quit bringing your girlfriends and putting them to work with you. Have them as a friend for 4 months. For you, it would take 4 months because you just bring them into your inner sanctum and they're the most evil motherfucking bastards I've ever met. Burger Boy, please quit it. And Mary, you're not into being a, Mary, you are the most evil fucking whole bitch I've ever met. You steal. You're into voodoo bigger than anything. You can say what you want, but you aren't a Mary. You are a Karen. You're a Karen. And everyone knows that. You can act as nice as pie, but you're really stinging me in the eye. And please don't go online, Burger Boy, on my thing and don't add me. I really don't care to have someone that nasty. You want to be bringing nasty into my sanctum? Think about it. You don't know, and I'm tired of it. I really am. You pissed me off. And Mary, go fuck yourself. Really, go fuck yourself. Go take your big bag that you've been telling everybody about and go fuck yourself. Because your story about being chased by a dog, well, first it was a pack of dogs and then you got down to one dog. That you're being chased where you have to jump fences. Honey, you're too big to jump fences. What kind of fences were they? This big? Because, honey, any fence that you would jump would have to be that big. Because you a big girl who will never get a ride from me. I will never drive your ass because you can't fit in my car. You would have to fit in the back and they would have to keep the door open. My car will not go with the hatch open. Sure, you know. You know how to work people. I got a childhood trauma. Mary, stay off my channel and go fuck yourself. You too, Burger Boy. Go fuck yourself. I don't need this kind of shit. That's where I'm at. Don't bring your girlfriends in here. I'm done.
You seem to.
It's almost been an hour and I will be going. I gotta go take care of some stuff. Burger Boy needs to go fuck himself. And just as far as I'm concerned, Miss Mary. Hi, I'm Mary, and I never talk about my childhood traumas, but in a month or two I will, and I'll blame everything on you, and I will backstab you, and you will not have jobs because your boss will think you're nuttier than anything. That's what they do. And that's what you're going in on this, or I'm fucking done. People who sit there and yeah. I'm ending the poll, and I would say most people feel that they can catch an asshole. That's after everyone, most people, from what I've seen, do not catch an asshole. The reality of it, we are lying to ourselves. If someone is going to talk about childhood trauma causing them pain, and they are over the age of 18, then they have not had childhood trauma. If they have something in their life that is causing them problems and they want to blame everyone else, don't come to me. If they are stealing from everybody, including myself, and wonder why I don't talk to them, maybe they should look at the fact that they're stealing from everybody and they don't want to deal with that. I am so tired of people coming on here, bringing their girlfriends who are the biggest losers. Mary, don't come on here no more. You are the biggest loser. Loser. You. And don't sit there and try to act nice, because you know what you are. And you're a user. Stay away from me. User. Endless, it was it end times Mary? Yeah, she is the end times. She said it right. I don't want to deal with you. You're evil, fucking Mary. Stay away from me.
Crossed. Would you believe it could be uncrossed?
Always trade up. See, Burger Boy was someone I worked with. And Endless Mary was his newest scam artist that he goes, hey, come over here. I don't know you. Oh, Burger Boy. Let me tell you about Burger Boy. Burger Boy will have sex with somebody and hope that they're nice. Well, they're nice is what he says. Yeah, everybody is nice when you first meet them and have sex with them. Don't bring them on my channel anymore, fucking Burger Boy. Yes, 3 months. And trust me, it makes a difference.
So what? Who said you?
It is unacceptable. My grandma was the boss. She went and flew first class from LAX and said, I couldn't believe it. And boy, she really put down the hammer. After she was done, let's just put it this way, I had a lot more power than what Jane did. And I didn't have to deal with her anymore. Oh yeah, because 2 years later, well, it was like a year and a half later, she left. So, yeah. Burger Boy came online. End time Mary? Oh, she is end time. Real end time. Oh yeah. End time Mary, stay away from me. Because I will be very cautious of any new person in my life that comes to work. I will think that they are end time Mary. Stay away from me. Thank you. Keep loving your heart. I treat people now the way they treat me. Oh yeah. I don't do it the other way. I don't treat people the way I want to be treated. I treat people the way they treat me.